we should first thank the President, who granted Bunyoro region a public university. And to me, that's where we start from, appreciating that gesture. But it is also very important for the people to know that this university has come. Why? Because already a task force has been put in place. And this task force is chaired by Professor Chamanya Samuel. And even offices have already been opened here in Chijungu, Hoima City. Even the task force has already formulated some of the programs, which they have even already, about 10 of them, and they have already submitted them to the National Council for Education for approval. So we are moving. You are even aware about 20 billion things has been released for the commencement of the Bunyoro Public University. The only challenge there is the location, because that's where the problem is. The political wing, they have their own area. They want Bulera here in Hoima City. But the technical people want other areas. I must be honest, they want Buhimba, because they know Buhimba is, according to them, is more suitable. As another district of Chikobe district, where Buhimba area is, I have been receiving delegations from National Council for Higher Education. I have received a delegation from the Minister of Lands. I have received a delegation from the task force members, including some members of parliament under their caucus, Bunyoro Parliamentary Caucus. I have taken them to Buhimba site. I must confess, they have always appreciated the site, because this Buhimba site was a piece of land, about 100 acres, with a land title, freehold, owned by Dr. Wamani. Is a canon now of the church, but he retired from Makere University as a senior lecturer, and he gave this land free of charge, only that there are some trees. So he was saying, yes, if government can compensate the trees, well and good, you can compensate and take the entire 100 acres that go. But if government has no money, it's fine. I know the construction of the university will not need 100 acres that go. You can first use the 20 acres. You remove the trees. You don't compensate me. You start from there. By the time you finish, those other trees will also be maturing. I harvest. Then I officially hand over the 100 acres free of charge. So, but also when you look at this Himba is about 10 minutes drive from Hoima City. It's about 5 kilometers from district headquarters of Hoima at Kasingo, and it is it's less than a kilometer from Buhimba Town Council to where this land is. Now, to me, we shouldn't be quarreling about where. We should be now looking at how can we actualize the operation of Bunyoro Public University. We can say, what is our interest as the people of Bunyoro? Our interest is to ensure that we have the university. Our interest is to ensure that the president has granted us this public university. How do we look when we start fighting over location, when we have so many sites where the university must be located? So others are saying, no, let's first have branches, can we call them colleges? But the act is clear. The establishment of university, we must have the main campus first. We cannot have those other colleges or branches without establishing the main campus first. So we should say, if we are saying Bulera, can we go to Bulera? But again, the First Lady advises, he says, if you want to go to Bulera, don't touch on the already structures for Bulera PTC. And yet we are aware the university task force chair, the vice chancellor of the Bunyoro Public University, Professor Chamanya, had already written a letter to the town clerk of Hoima City, asking him to find another place to relocate Bulera demonstration primary school. But the First Lady, who is also the education minister, says, please, we are giving the university, but do not touch on the already the structures, the properties of the already existing institutions, like now Bulera PTC. So that means we need again to think outside the box. that, okay, now we cannot touch on those ones, but already we had touched. Already the task force had already gotten 20 acres from the land legally belonging to Burera PTC. But again, the facility advises, please don't do that. And she's very right, 100%. I support her position 100%. Because she said, why should we encroach on some properties belonging to Burera when we have free land somewhere? Because this university is not here for today and tomorrow. This is a future investment that even a generation after generation will enjoy. So it's, some people are discussing as if it is only 2 years, 3 years university. No, the first lady is 100% right, 100% right to say, please don't touch on these already existing institutions like Burera, don't touch on their properties, but look for that land, 100 acres. Then we commence. Already the money, part of the money has been released. And some programs have already been created by the task force and already submitted to the National Council for Higher Education. But also I remember I was around when the president was really committing himself to give us the university in Bunyoro. He said, get for me free land. Actually, he had said, get for me 400 acres, if for those who attended, if you remember very well. But he never said, go and start encroach or disorganize the already existing government institutions. He never said that. He said, get for me land, 400 acres, then we shall get for you a public university. But here comes Dr. Waman with 100 acres. Why don't you take advantage of that? Well, because these universities, when they come with a lot of opportunities. Areas surrounding, for example, Himba, will develop because students will need hostels. Lecturers will need hotels. Support staff will need hotels. That means even business-wise, those areas surrounding Himba will boom. And therefore, but when you say Burera, my worry is, how are we going to handle Burera? Are we going to create more new structures? Are we going to see trading centers which are already developed surrounding Burera develop the more? Why can't we allow this university go to Buhimba so that areas like Buswekera, Kasingo, Mpaija, Buhimba, Kigaya, Musajja Mukuru, Kitole, Kinogozi, those areas will develop. Yeah, even up to Kakumiro, Naruweyu, Katikara, these areas will develop because we shall need enough hostels, we shall need water, already electricity is there, but we shall even extend because of the university. So to me, as the people of Bunyoro, we shouldn't be fighting for where the university should be located. Why would politicians interfere with the work of the technical people? To me, that is my concern. Because these are technical people paid to do their work. We should ask ourselves, how has it been in other areas? In Teso, in Weya, in Busoga. Those areas of Teso, Busoga, do they also have politicians? If they do, did also politicians from those areas interfere with the technical work? So to me, we should respect the work of the technical people. If the technical people have come on the ground, not once, not twice, and assessed, and coming from different government agencies, but also appearing to be agreeing on a similar position, why do we have to involve politics there? Unless we are becoming populist. Why do we have to involve our own politics, our personal interests? Why not to respect the position of the technical people? Then, for us, we give them political support. To me, that one would make more sense. Yes, technically, they come out with their findings. Politically, we embrace it and support them. To me, that would be very fine. On the issue of why government still wants land, free land, so that we are given a university, no. Sometimes there is patriotism. Patriotism is very, very key concept in any nation building world over. People offer, people sacrifice for their country. So if Dr. Waman says, don't worry, have the land, 100 acres, that is patriotism. Even in Kakumiro there was government land. We can still use that land. Even in Kiriandong. So it's not about why government said first get us land. It's about the availability of government to see that Bunyoro gets a public university. Because this has been, it has been a talking point. We have been giving the opposition a free talking point. The other election cycle, they say, Bunyoro, don't vote for President Museveni, don't vote for any of them, because this government has no political will to give you a public university. Now the president has given us a public university. Why do we have to delay it? We, the leaders. Why are we doing a disservice to our own people? We have the money. Government has released the money, 20 billions. The Minister of Education has put in force a task force. I have met this task force several times. I have taken them because, why am I bringing all this? Because the donor, Dr. Oman, when he was giving us this land as another this in the area, he also wrote to me. I have a letter informing me of the offer. And there are no conditions. Him and the wife and the family all signed willingly giving this 100 acres. So that's why I'm talking authoritatively about this, because at least I was also lucky to have been to have received a letter from the Dr. Waman. But the point is, why do we the politicians, why do we have to interfere with the process where the technical people are in charge? To best my understanding.
What have you lost as you know, not having a public university?
Of course, we have lost a lot. One, our children travel longer distances. They go to Guru University, they go to Makerere, they go to Chambogo, they go to Sitema, anywhere. So they move longer distances. But if we have a public university here, our children, who can also compete, remember this is a public university, they must also compete to qualify to be admitted. Actually, that one brings me even to a second point. Yes, we need a public university. I would advise the politicians from Bunyoro, instead of trying to over-interfere with the work of the technical people, they would spend this time mobilizing for quality education, so that our secondary schools here can teach and our children qualify to be admitted. Because remember, being a public university, you may even find that if we don't prepare our children well, if we don't promote this level of education from the grassroots to our nursery, to our primary, to our secondary, it may reach at a time when even 90% of the students studying from the University of Bunyoro are not from here, because this is a public university and they have a right to also be admitted like any other person from Bunyoro. So for us as the politicians from Bunyoro, to me, my point would be, why don't we take this time to mobilize to ensure that we have quality education, by engaging the parents, by engaging stakeholders, the religious leaders, teachers, so that they teach our children and our children pass, and then they are admitted into the university, than fighting for the location of the university. It really doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.